On March 20th, I applied for the Small Business Assistance Program. On March 21st, I and other gym owners received an email from the city asking about discounts for city employees. The gyms that agreed to begin offering a discount to city employees received larger grants than the one that didn't. Despite the city's published guidelines and the Treasury regulations stating that the opposite should have occurred. No, I'm not saying that this is quid pro quo, but I can't say that it's not, and neither can the city, because they still have not explained how they determine grant awards, even though a scoring system has been ready to go since December. If a scoring system was used, then those scores should be readily available so that a direct comparison can be made and the public can see that the program was conducted fairly. It's possible that the timing of that email was a coincidence. So I'll review the full timeline. When I applied, I was told it would take 10 to 14 days to process. I emailed on day 14 and received no response. I called a few days later and was sent to voicemail. I showed up in person on day 21 and my application had not been reviewed. I showed up again on day 28 and my application had still not been reviewed. On day 30, after multiple emails back and forth with the HR department, I sent an email stating that I would not be offering city employees a discount. 9 minutes later, I received an email stating that more information was needed to process my application, even though I initially turned in a complete application with all required documents, including an itemized list of expenses and receipts. Applications were supposed to be processed on a first-come, first-served basis. While waiting to hear back from the city, another business applied after me, received the decision, and had a check in their hand for the maximum amount before I could even get a response. Now, they may not have intended to delay my application. They may have only been trying to do a favor to the business that applied after me. But the consequence of doing a favor for one is discrimination against another. Doing a favor by pulling an application out of order for expedited processing requires discrimination against the businesses that applied earlier. Doing a favor for gyms that agreed to begin offering city employees a discount requires discrimination against gyms that wouldn't. Doing a favor by awarding grants to ineligible organizations who had no economic impact from COVID requires discrimination against eligible businesses that experienced significant economic harm for the shutdown. All of your favors come with a consequence, and that consequence is discrimination and unfair treatment of others. For the 5th time, I'm requesting an explanation of the scoring system and the scores that each business received so that the public can know whether businesses were evaluated in a fair, objective manner or whether they were evaluated based on illegal quid pro quo arrangements.